Asterisk, your dog isn't sensing evil. They're catching something far more real. Something faster than your eyes. Something your dog can feel before a stranger even speaks. The first signal dogs detect. And there's one reaction most owners dismiss as random, even though it may be the clearest warning your dog can give. The warning behavior owners misread. Most people will live with dogs their entire lives and never see it. Not because it's hidden, because it looks too ordinary to matter. But by the end of this, you're going to watch your own dog differently, and once you see the signal, you won't be able to unsee it. A stranger walks in, your dog pauses, not barking, not panicking, just watching. That tiny pause is where everything begins. Because in that moment, your dog is running a test you don't even know exists. Not, is this person bad? Something much more unsettling. Are they safe for you? And there's one reason that question matters more than most owners realize. I'll show you that in a minute. But first, you need to know why your dog's first judgment almost never starts with the face. Loop open. Dogs don't start with the face. Here's the surface truth. What dogs are actually detecting. Your dog does not read morality. Your dog reads mismatch, small reveal. The body that moves too stiffly. The hand that reaches too directly. The breathing that feels wrong. The scent that says stress before the smile says friendly. To you, that person may look normal. To your dog, the signals don't match. And when signals don't match, dogs get careful. That's why the bad person idea feels true. Because what you're seeing is real. You're just naming it the wrong way. But here's where it gets stranger. Dogs aren't only reading the stranger. They're reading *you while they read the stranger. Dogs judge people through you. Your shoulders tighten by half an inch. Your voice changes. Your breathing gets shallower. You may not even notice it. Your dog does. And that means one of the strongest warning signs in your dog isn't aggression. It's orientation. Who they move toward when something feels off. The orientation signal. Hold on to that, because that's the part most owners miss. Now the science gets uncomfortable. Marjorie Hoke, in a famous experiment from Kyoto, dogs followed a human pointing to food. Then the human pointed again and misled them. On the next round, even when food really was there, the dogs hesitated. Not because they stopped wanting food, because they had downgraded that human's reliability. Loop close. The first signal dogs detect beat awe. One broken interaction, and trust shifted. That matters more than it sounds. Because your dog is not asking, is this soul pure? Your dog is asking, does this human make sense? Do their signals line up? Can I predict them? Dogs love predictability because predictability feels safe. When a person feels inconsistent, dogs don't turn mystical. They turn cautious, and that caution can look eerily accurate from the outside. But reliability is only the first layer. The deeper layer is social behavior. What happens when your dog sees someone treat you badly? Dogs watching how others treat you. Another Kyoto study found something almost emotional to watch. When a stranger refused to help the owner, dogs were less willing to take food from that person afterward. Think about that. The dog wasn't harmed. The treat was still a treat, but the social choice had already been made. This next part is the one most owners get wrong. Dogs didn't reward niceness, like tiny furry judges. They seemed more sensitive to unhelpfulness than helpfulness. Dogs watching how others treat you. That means your dog may not instantly adore a good person, but they can become wary of someone who feels rude, tense, deceptive, or dismissive toward their human, not because dogs understand good and evil the way we do, because they track social friction with shocking precision. And now we reach the part that feels almost impossible. Sometimes your dog reacts before any obvious behavior happens, before the stranger speaks, before they touch anyone, before there is anything visible to judge. So what are they reading then? Loop open. Invisible signal before action scent. Not perfume. Not soap. Stress chemistry. A dog's nose lives in a different universe from yours. What you call a vibe, your dog may be reading as biology. Fear, adrenal arousal, unease, agitation. Human bodies leak information constantly. And studies now suggest dogs respond differently when exposed to the odor of human stress. That doesn't mean stress equals bad character. It means your dog can detect internal states you cannot smell at all. So, when a stranger enters carrying hidden tension, your dog may react to the chemistry before the conversation begins. But scent alone still isn't the full answer. Invisible signal before action because your dog is combining everything at once. Movement, posture, speed, voice tone, smell, and your reaction to all of it. This is where the emotional truth starts to emerge. Your dog is not protecting an idea. Your dog is protecting a bond. That's why the response feels personal, because to your dog it is. And this leads to the behavior I told you not to ignore. It's not always barking. It's not even growling. Very often, it's your dog quietly placing themselves between you and the other person, or pressing against your leg without taking their eyes off the stranger. The warning behavior owners misread. The orientation signal, that is not random clinginess. That can be information, soft information. But information. Here's the untold reveal. Some of the clearest warning dogs don't look dramatic at all. Loop open, the quietest warning sign, the dog who suddenly stops wagging but doesn't retreat. The dog who turns sideways instead of approaching head-on. The dog who sniffs longer than usual. The dog who keeps checking your face. The dog who accepts the room, but not the person. These are the moments owners laugh off because nothing explosive happened. But quiet caution is often more meaningful than loud barking. And there's something almost heartbreaking in that, because your dog is usually trying, not to overreact. They're gathering more data. They're holding tension without releasing it. They're hoping the picture will resolve into safety. So if your dog becomes still, don't rush past that stillness. Stillness in dogs is often a sentence with no words. Now, an important truth. Dogs are not flawless judges of human character. Dogs don't start with the face. A nervous good person can unsettle a dog. A smooth dangerous person can fool one. Breed, history, trauma, training and temperament all matter. So this is not a magic detector. It's better. It's a living, feeling animal using thousands of tiny clues to decide whether the world around you feels safe. And sometimes that decision deserves your attention. But if dogs aren't perfect, why do their reactions haunt us? Because every owner has lived some version of this story. The story every owner remembers. Your dog loved everyone, until one person, one oddly specific person, and later, something about that person felt wrong to you too. Maybe not monstrous, maybe not dramatic, just off. And once that happens, you never forget it. The reason you never forget it is not because your dog proved they can see evil. It's because they reminded you how much truth lives below language. Emotional climax before excuses, before charm, before polished words. Your dog was reading tension, inconsistency, social coldness, stress, intention, and your own body's response long before your mind caught up. That's not supernatural. That's devotion sharpened by attention. Loop close. Dogs judge people through you, and maybe that is the most beautiful part of all. Your dog is not standing guard over the whole world. Your dog is standing guard over you, not because they think like a scientist, not because they think like a judge, because they love like a dog, and love in dogs looks a lot like vigilance. It looks like studying your safety until your comfort becomes part of their instinct. So the next time your dog pauses around someone, don't jump to mythology. Don't instantly jump to paranoia either. Just pay attention. Watch the body. Watch the distance. Watch where your dog places themselves. Watch whether they relax or merely endure. Because your dog may not be telling you, this person is evil. They may be telling you something more useful. Something here doesn't feel safe yet. And that final truth may be the one most people never hear. The story every owner remembers. Your dog does not need a human word bad to recognize a human worth watching. They only need what they've always had. A nose that notices, eyes that compare, a nervous system that remembers, and a heart that has quietly made your safety its job. So if your dog has ever gone still beside you for no obvious reason, maybe that wasn't nothing. Maybe that was love. trying to warn you,